55, right? In the second round. So, I mean, damn, man, the man's a Laker for real. Something that we
We
kind of
thought,
thought about, years ago. Something that LeBron's already said years ago as well.
yeah.
And we are kind of living through the whole thing, bro. So I don't really know how to fathom this. Like, I heard about like, the Ken Griffey Jr. and Senior, but I was like 5 when that happened. You know what I mean?
Same, yeah.
So we were young and like we were like, okay, like what's the significance in that? Like, we couldn't really process it. So, but
True,
now it's
true.
kind of crazy to see that, we're of age to see LeBron's first game. 22 years later, you know what I mean? He's playing with his son and still playing at a good pace, right? So
Right.
do you think Bronny deserved that second round pick at 55?
I mean, obviously, it was more nepotism and stuff like that. Obviously, it was his dad, the reason why he got the job. Does he
Mm-hmm.
deserve it? Okay, the thing is, I'm not mad at it because he went in the second round in the late part of the second round,
Yeah.
So if he were to be in the NBA, like, I guess the 40 to 60 range is usually typically for raw talent or guys who could have potential or guys who could be a role player,
Exactly.
who could do something for your team, right? So I'm not
Yeah.
mad at that position. I think, and I think LeBron was cognitive of this. I think if Bronny went in the first round, if you went in the first round, then people might like shit on the decision of him going in the first round. So it was smart to let him go in the second round. It was smart to tell other teams not to draft him, which I was thinking. I'm like, yo, the background they're gonna go tell people do not draft Bronny James. Like he's going to be a Laker. So to answer your question, deserve? Sure, sure. I would say in the sense that okay, I'll be nice. I'll defend LeBron a bit. LeBron put himself in a position where he can put his son in this position. So deserve, sure. A lot of people, like a lot of CEOs, a lot of people own businesses and stuff like that. They put their kids in positions to kind of maybe bypass the line. You know what I'm trying to say? So deserve, sure, I guess. But I do still recognize that Bronny probably wouldn't be here if he wasn't LeBron James' son, and that's something I really can't let go of, to be honest. But yo, shout out to them though. Shout out to them. That's an
Yeah.
accomplishment, bro. That's an
Yeah, no,
accomplishment.
you bring up very valid points. I personally think he did deserve it because for those same reasons, as you said, like it was a very high, last minute pick, 55 out of 60, right? And that those later round picks are definitely for like, take a chance. Like who do you really know coming out of the second round? Sure, there's those highlights, Jokic or like I think Draymond was either 30th in the first round or like second round. Manu Ginobili, so there are players that are there that like are diamonds in the rough, right? But most players you don't even really hear about anymore. Like think about it, you're letting in 60 new mans into the NBA, right? Every year.
Every
So
year, yeah.
like 60 gotta go. They're not making new jobs. You know what I
That's
mean? There's
true.
a
That's
few
true.
new jobs here and there. If they make a new team, okay, whoop-de-doo. Another 12 to 15 players, and you have a rotation of 60 in, 60 out, plus free agents, plus
True.
overseas. So there's so much in terms of like who
G
can
League.
really get in, right?
Right.
And a lot of those second round picks, to my point, is just that like they don't even last, right? So sometimes it's really okay to take a chance in the second round. And it from a Laker standpoint, it was in their best interest to go with Bronny James. It was in their best interest because number one, the potential. I think he's one of the smarter. Well, I don't really even know all the players in the draft, to be honest. I don't think anybody really knows many of the players in this draft. So if there was a
Facts.
draft to do it, it was this draft, right?
True.
You're not looking at like next year where there's like Cooper Flag and all these big names coming in, right? But like from a longevity business player standpoint, it's wise to go with someone that at least has the environment to be potentially good in terms of like IQ wise. Obviously, he's not LeBron James. He's just not, right? Not the same build, not the same anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Athleticism, even IQ, but IQ is something that you can learn, and that's one thing a lot of players in the NBA don't have. I had
True.
a crazy take yesterday with a coworker yesterday. I said it was probably a little bit outlandish, probably a little bit premature, but I said Bronny James makes better decisions than Jason Tatum.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, it's not crazy, but it could come across as disrespectful just because Jason Tatum, NBA champion now. Obviously,
Experience, I get it. I get
yeah,
it.
you know what I'm trying to
It's probably
say?
a little past the point to say that because what's
Yeah,
happened in the past 2-3 weeks. But
right.
from a young player standpoint, I've watched his USC games. I've seen him make nothing but good decisions. To be honest, right? You could say, okay, he only averaged 4 points a game. He only did this. He only did that, right? But if he comes in and has the IQ, not just from on the court, but just from a growth standpoint, to what, I'm this guy. I'm not my dad. I need to learn how to shoot better. I need to be that defensive prowl on the defensive end. Then
Mhm.
he has value in the league. And if he's smart enough to see that, which a lot of players in the league right now aren't even, they don't like. You see a lot of players developing themselves much better now, but
Mm.
how much of them are taking care of their body? How much of them are doing the right things? Like, I think he has the potential to be really good. And at that second round pick at 55, if he kind of adapts, like a Kobe mentality, when Kobe was a rookie and just he wasn't out at the clubs doing all this nonsense trying to chase females or anything like that, and he just focuses on ball for the first 2-3 years and develops himself into a much better player, he can be someone in the league. That's how I
Fuck.
see it. We already know that he's not going to be someone this year or next year. Let's see if he even gets on the court this year. Of course he probably will, just to make it happen, kind of thing. Trash time, garbage time. They're
Right.
playing Detroit or they're playing Washington or something like that, and they're up 27, and then LeBron's in the fourth quarter and he just gets to enjoy watching his son play in the fourth quarter, something like that. Cool, whatever, right? But
Let me interject. I think game one he's going on the court, bro.
you think he's going in game one?
Not to say that he's going to play all 82 games, but just for the history perspective, LeBron's going to want to touch the court with his son in a meaningful way. Like I don't think LeBron wants to be on the court with the Lakers up 30 with Bronny on the court. I think he's going to want that moment, that Kodak moment of him and his son be on the court. Now, I'm not saying that's every game. I'm just saying game one of this season coming up, I can definitely see them being like, "Yo, put Bronny in with me, second quarter, third quarter, fourth, maybe." Like, I can
I
definitely
hear
see
you.
it, but it won't be consistent. It won't be consistent.
And then it'll fade away from that point. Just for
Yeah,
the Kodak. Okay,
just
I
for the
hear you.
Kodak, just for the Kodak.
I hear you.
Like, bro, like Savannah's gonna want to see that, bro. Like the wife,
True.
his mom, she's gonna want to see that,
True.
bro. Like, so
And they're like, man, we already went this far. What's 5 minutes in the second quarter? You know what I
I
mean?
like.
Okay, I hear that. I
Yeah.
hear that. But yeah, no, like, just to go back to Bronny, I think he has the potential to be a good player if he develops himself in a skillful way. But he has the mindset. Like, number one, it all starts up here. You know what I mean? So if he actually, takes half of what his dad has, he has the potential to be from a mindset point. He has the potential to be good 3-4 years down the road. That's how I see it. Will he have a 24-year career? No. You know what I mean? So we'll see. But that's my opinion. I think he could potentially be somewhat valuable to some teams in a few years, kind of thing, if he does the right things now. So it's okay to take that risk in the second round with the 55th pick, to be honest.
True. But
Right?
is that like I hear what you're saying, but from a is that good enough though? Because obviously everybody's watching him, fans, other teams, players. Like players are gonna look at him like, oh, you're LeBron James' son. The media. So even if Bronny James is half of what LeBron is, you know what I'm trying to say? Is that gonna be good enough though? Because he's LeBron James' son. I think even though I get it, they try to mask him behind that second round 55th pick to make it seem like, okay, we're not saying he's the next Jordan or whatever. But the fact that he's LeBron's son, I think people are going to hold him to that standard. No, you don't think so?
To some degree, but I think everyone kind of understands the difference already. You know what I mean? Like, I think they know that he's not, a next generational talent. Like it's already, sedimented that there is a difference. Not that, like, that won't come throughout the season, but like I think his expectations are quite low. I think they're already quite low with all this media coverage over the past, 2 months from when he was even going into college. Like, from him going into college and he wasn't, starting, dropping 20 points, dunking on everyone. People already said, you're starting. Like, it already started then. You know what I mean?
True.
It even started when Bryce grew taller than Bronny. So, like, call it
Yeah,
2 years ago. They're like, which one's better? They're already looking at Bronny like, you know
we
what I
don't
mean?
know.
We don't know. We don't know, right? So it's good that happened before he stepped foot on the NBA court. So it kind of gives him a little bit of room for error, a little bit. You know what I mean? But I think that already sedimented the expectations, and I think it will be a downtrend from where we are right now. So I think it'll, as we see him unfold, and we'll see he doesn't play every game. We'll see he's not playing fourth quarter minutes crazy. If realistically he's not, unless he has a crazy spectacular game out of nowhere and just shoots through the roof with expectations. But realistically, we're not expecting Bronny and LeBron to close out the game with Anthony Davis and Austin Reeves. Like, that's just not happening. We know that already. Psychologically, we already know that.